Andrew Wilson and the Whatever podcast are becoming increasingly popular, and they've done a fantastic job of exposing the horrendous logic of hyperfeminist culture. But I think they've also gone a little bit too far down the idealistic Alice in Wonderland hole of problem solving that Andrew has landed on the opposite but equal end of the garbage he seeks to eliminate. Take a look at this 1.5 minute clip, for example.
So I would try to move towards a patriarchal system where women were slowly phased out of the workplace altogether, and then that solves this problem.
Okay, I disagree.
How would we survive and live?
The same way that we survived and lived for most of our history, which is without women inside the workforce.
Men would abandon their homes to go to other women. What the first divorce case was because the guy ditched his wife and his kids and went to be with another woman.
Answer the question. How would a woman, let's say a woman gets widowed, how does she survive?
She would probably remarry. But not only that, the assets of the husband always have traditionally gone to the woman. Not only that, there's usually an obligation from the family of the person you were widowed from who's going to help you out.
The man was doing everything right. Like the man was just working hard.
we can't assess all of society just based on what if a meteorite strikes you. That's not fair. And I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me finish, lady. I'm sorry that a fucking meteorite might strike your husband and he might die, but we're not going to make a societal prescription based on that. That would be insanity.
Yeah, no, I'm not entrusting my daughter's well-being to a pre-suffrage, male-dominated culture. It is true that there are no perfect solutions, and it is impossible to eliminate all unfairness from society. But I think Andrew severely overestimates how good things were for families, and especially women during that time frame. Both my wife and I came from conservative Christian families with a multi-general history of physical and emotional abuse, men who returned from wars with drinking problems and beat the shit out of their wives and children. So I don't really give a damn if Andrew has this great vision in his head, like, wouldn't it be great if we could culturally turn back time and make everything just like it was? This guy is wearing the most rose-colored lenses he could find at the dollar store. It's pure idealism and will not work the way he wants it to. And I'd go so far as to say that even if we did manage to elect the kind of people who would want to reduce women's rights to make Andrew's ideal society, that we would more likely to be ending up like post-revolution Iran than pre-suffrage United States. We would have to elect radicals, and we would have to culturally take a radical shift away from where we are. And there are natural, cultural, emotional, extremist attitudes that accompany that kind of shift. And it doesn't result in a society seeking rational policy or rational policy makers. I do agree that our young men and women need to have a reality check. And we do need to take a step back to better understand how our culture in combination with technology has caused damage, but reverting back to an opposite extreme is not the way forward.